In a typical church, discussions about heavier matters might be the subject for a session in the pastor's study. This is true even in the catacomb chapel of St. Uriel, no matter how different our ministries might be from your typical parish. And let's see what we might find in a very different pastor's study.
Merry meet, blessed be. Depending on the path that you took to get here, I'm Hayden Odinson, High Priest of the Temple of Gaia, or you may know me as Bishop Cal Lippitt of the Universal Episcopal Church, and, of course, St. Uriel's Catacomb Cathedral, or Catacomb Chapel. Either one is fine. The only cathedral with a falling cathedra. If you know what a cathedra is, you'll know the significance of it being folding. Anyway, welcome to the reintroduction of In a Very Different Pastor's Study. Because, I guess between the Secrets in Plain Sight and Church Back Home and Temple of Gaia, I guess that qualifies me as a pastor, and I'm definitely a very different kind of pastor from any that you've known. And here we are in my study. And I'm going to take you by the hand through some stuff that I've been discovering. It's interesting to put various pieces of writing to the microscope and see what's there. And find out what truth there is. And we go back to the title of my original audio podcast, which still is going after all these years, The Secrets in Plain Sight. And we're looking for the secrets in plain sight, aren't we? So where do we begin? Well, have you ever had the desire to, if you're reading a novel, to take a look at the last couple of pages to see how it ends? Make sure that somebody that you like is still alive and well at the end? Or any questions like that? Or to make sure that the two people you are particularly liking, they wind up falling in love with each other? Do they stay in love with each other? Are they going to get married? All those kind of questions that you might have about a book that you're reading. Well, why wouldn't it be the same for a book of Scripture? And I'm talking about any Scripture. Whether you're talking about the Torah, the Buddhist sutras, or the Christian Bible, or whatever, the Avamall, wouldn't you like to know how it ends? At least have an opportunity to prepare yourself for it? Well, guess what? Let's start at the end. Yeah, let's start at the end so that we can see what's going to be and how it's going to conclude, so that we can have some idea of what's really being said beforehand. Why not? Seems logical to me. If you want to see how something came to be, don't you want to look at it in its present state? And then figure out how that happened? That's what a lot of scientists do. So why not let us? Okay. And so we will go to the book of Revelation. Chapter 7. Verse 2. Because there's where we find some interesting stuff. starting there. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God, and he cried with a loud voice to the four angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, Hurt not the earth, neither the sea nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads. And I heard the number of them which were sealed. And they were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands, and cried with a loud voice, saying, Salvation to our God, which sitteth upon the throne, and unto the Lamb. And all the angels stood round about the throne, and about the elders and the four beasts, and fell before the throne on their faces and worshipped God, saying, Amen. Blessing and glory and wisdom and thanksgiving and honor and power and might be unto our God forever and ever. Amen. And one of the elders answered, saying unto me, What are these which are arrayed in white robes, and whence came they? And I said unto him, Sir, thou knowest. And he said to me, They are they which came out of great tribulation, and have washed their robes, and have made them white in the blood of the Lamb. Therefore are they before the throne of God, which serve him day and night in this temple. And he that sitteth on the throne shall dwell among them, and they shall hunger no more, neither thirst any more, neither shall the sun light on them, nor any heat. For the Lamb which is in the midst of the throne shall feed them, and shall lead them unto living fountains of waters, and God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. Wow. Now, we've come across a bunch of situations where you'll find something that's very familiar to you, and something that maybe somebody skipped over, didn't bother to tell you about. One of my favorites, for instance, in the 12th chapter of Matthew, being where everybody talks about a house divided against itself cannot stand, but they forget what the roots are of that and what else Jesus said about that. Then again, a lot of people don't even bother saying that Jesus said a house divided against itself cannot stand. A lot of people attribute that to Abraham Lincoln. Guess what? He got it from somebody. And here we have the 144,000, 12,000 each from each of the 12 tribes. Guess what? Even in the days of this revelation being revealed to John, there were people who weren't quite sure what happened to some of those tribes. And right now, there's a part of the Israeli government that is devoted to trying to find the remnants of some of those tribes. 144,000. And I'm going to assume, based on what I see here, that that John and everybody assumed that those would be 144,000 devout Jews. But what about those others, the multitude with the white robes, that no man could measure? Nobody could count how many there were. all nations and kindreds and peoples and tongues. Guess what? Do you think maybe that they weren't all of one particular group? That maybe the doors are open a little bit wider, maybe quite a whole lot wider than a lot of people claim, to try to get you to toe their mark? Maybe it's not necessary to have a particular membership card in your wallet to get past the gate. Maybe any card will do, as long as you follow the principles that are printed on the back of the card. Yeah. Are you a Methodist? Do you do what Methodists are supposed to do? Are you a Catholic? Do you do what Catholics are supposed to do? Are you a Buddhist? Do you do what Buddhists are supposed to do? Well, you know, there's plenty of precedent elsewhere in the Bible of other gods and other faiths being recognized and respected, including by Jesus, who healed the servant of a Mithrist. And so, what do we have here? I would say the door is open a lot more widely. And the tent is a lot bigger than some people want you to believe. Of course, there's a catch. Whatever you say you are, be a good one. There's a reason why I may compare and contrast, might even criticize, but I won't condemn. And I think you may see it here. The fact of the matter is, there may be a lot more of us than expect to be. Padre Pio himself said that when you get to heaven, you'll see a lot of people there that you didn't expect to see. And that's fine by me. Mary Parton, blessed be. This has been a presentation of the Wise Ones Net. Mary Part, and blessed be.